We start off our day at the Adrian and Blissfield shops in Adrian, Michigan. Power for today's train would be ADBF 1759, an EMD GP9 supporting its predecessor New Hampshire North Coast paint, along with ADBF 1752, an EMD GP9 painted into corporate colors. Once both units were fired up, the 1759 would pull out of the shops before reversing for the 1752. Once coupled, the GP9 combo would pull ahead and then stop for the conductor to reline the switch for main track movement. We would catch up with a pair around the bend as they switch directions and head toward the Norfolk Southern interchange. From above, we look down at the NS interchange as the conductor ties onto the first cut of cars. Today's train would be a lengthy one consisting of 15 cover hoppers for Mack, 4 gons for Jackson Iron and Metal, 4 tankers for car storage, 2 covered hoppers for Plastic Omnium, and 2 covered hoppers for Ag Solutions. In total, our train would come out to 27 cars, which would prove to be hours of fun shuffling in town. Once done at the interchange, the 1759 would lead the way back to the main. The 1759 has a mean Leslie RS3L which screams of its Conrail heritage. Once past the switch, the consists would shove back to the runaround next to the shop to begin the normalized task of shuffling cars. Now back at the runaround, the first thing our crew would focus on is shuffling out the gons for Jackson, Iron, and Metal. We jump across the tracks to get a close-up view of the GP9s taking their rarer switchback switch into Jackson's gate. We fly in front of the 1759 as it shoves deep into the scrapyard to set off cars at different loading stations. Off to the side we see a semi being loaded by a magnet attached to the loader. Once done with the scrap gons, the crew would sort out the 2 plastic hoppers to be left in town during their run. Off to the north side of their runaround, the old Lakeshore in Michigan roundhouse is seen visible hiding behind some pine trees. The roundhouse was built in 1900 and had 8 stalls along with a turntable. Now done with the sorting of their train, the 1752 would lead the way east. The first crossing we would catch them at is Deerfield Road. The conductor would see our drone and pretend to throw something at it before he passes by. Also of note from above, 1752's paint is wearing away on the roof and is showing a dark blue which once was part of a Lionel-inspired paint scheme that was painted on her in the 90s and early 2000s. Close by, our train would stop at Lawanee Junction to switch the 4 tankers being used for car storage out of their train. The siding here is once used for the Adrian and Blissfield Old Road dinner train that has not been operational since before COVID. The dinner train would run out of Blissfield before running around his train at this location. The 1752 was the unit normally in charge of this job and still obtains an Old Road logo on its nose. Lawanee Junction was most likely the first instance of 2 branch lines crossing at grade in the state of Michigan. The Lakeshore in Michigan's Main came through here and is the oldest tracks in Michigan laid in 1834. At one time this was a bustling area with a station, but oddly now the diamond still remains in the brush at this location with the northern leg of the Y chopped in a farmer's field. Next shot would be outside of Palmyra, as the now all hopper train takes a super elevated curve. find ourselves staying on yet another Lakeshore, Michigan branch Y as the train treks towards Blissfield. Lane Street in downtown Blissfield screams Penn Central with its mechanical bells and weird concrete raised signals. Outside of Blissfield, we would find ourselves at the ADBF's biggest customer, Mack. The 1759 would drop off 15 of the 17 covered hoppers on its train here. Final stop for our train today would be Ag Solutions across the road from Mack. The 1752 would set off the two remaining covered hoppers here. Once done, the now paired together units would start their journey back to Adrian. Sadly today the return trip would be light power, throwing away most photogenic shots. We would take a head-on shot as the 1759 led the way over the River Raisin Bridge. Outside of Palmyra, we see a milepost in a field. The B in this case showed how many miles from Buffalo, New York you are. Sadly, this is where our chase would end as we ended up in a ditch. If you would like a full story, please navigate to the description where I've typed an explanation to how we ended up like this. I will note in the video that no one was injured and the car was fine beside a flooded speaker due to water leaking in, along with a rear flat tire. I thank the crew for stopping and making sure that we were okay. Thank you for watching this video today on the AFLK Productions YouTube channel. As always, I'm Logan, and I'll see you trackside.
Charlie, what do you say?